This red block is now the size of ads that are allowed to be played on screen during your streams. The new Twitch advertising guidelines are not good, and I'll tell you why. My name is Hungrybox. If you're on this channel, obviously you know that, but for your new viewers, I'm a Smash Bros player, commentator, creator, all the above for the space, right, of Super Smash Bros. And today, Twitch rolled out what appears to be a very big boulder in terms of how a lot of these Smash Bros tournaments are going to make revenue. But not just Smash tournaments, creators in general. Now, I am contractually partnered with Twitch. A lot of the reasons that we can do what we do with Liquid is because of that partnership. But it still is within my, right of thinking and right of speech to express frustration with new policies that I think are not good for the general space, especially fighting games, the space that I'm in. So if a Twitch person is watching this, please listen up because this is important. So, what are the big changes that Twitch made? If you look right here, I've gone ahead and pulled up the tweet from Zach Busey, which basically says the new parameters, the new guidelines for content that just came out, I believe today or yesterday, and it goes as follows. On-stream logos are limited to 3% of screen size. Burned-in video ads are not allowed. Burned-in display ads are not allowed. And burned-in audio ads are not allowed. Now, of course, you might be wondering what this means on a more literal scale, because it might be difficult for you guys to notice. On my channel, I have on-screen ads all the time. I have a rotational ad that includes a Twitch ad, but it's very small, right? It doesn't take up too much of the screen. And for those of you wondering how much 3% of this screen is, of a 1080 pixel screen, that would be that. This red block represents how much of your ad can take up the room on a screen now, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Because in other days, we used to have, well, not other days, like as recently as possible, Smash Bros would have giant on-screen ads, full-screen ads, to make their sponsors of their events happy. People like Papa John's or like Coinbase, right? People like Nouns, like every single full screen ad that you see in between games and ad breaks is considered a full screen ad, and that no longer is doable at all. This is now what you have to work with when you're putting something on screen. There are ways to go against this, and I'm glad that I have that giant, check behind it, because someone could go behind the screen and spin it around. You can do everything like on camera, on site, on the scene, like a theater production if you wanted to. You will soon know the truth. I don't know. I'm gonna go downstairs and get it. I might play some ads first, but
give me the case. I can't leave any evidence.
Wait, what? That's my case. What?
They're coming.
Wait, who's coming? What? What? Hey! People always ask, Hbox, what's your routine? How do you stay warmed up? How do you keep your skill intact? Well, it's easy, and here's my secret regime. Number 1, 500 ledge grabs a day on FD. Number 2, 300 ledge grabs a day on your story. And most importantly, keep looking my best with today's video sponsor, Keeps. Or, people just acting on screen. You can't actually have these digital logos on screen take up the entire thing. They also posted these guidelines to show exactly what they meant. So logos on screen are allowed, which is 3% of your screen size, and inserted burned-in video ads like this are not allowed. So this is what you used to have. I did this many times for my tournaments, but this is exactly what is not allowed. What else isn't allowed is burned-in display ads. You cannot insert display or banner ads directly into your streams, like you see here. So a big banner that comes down, you can't do that anymore. And burned in audio ads. So if you're like streaming and there's like a audio that overlays on everything too, kind of like what Spotify does, you can't have that either. So a lot more strict takedown of what is and isn't allowed. But they also include some other things here. For instance, what they permit is you can have branded panels on your channel page. Obviously, those panels can be as big as they want. You can showcase the products in the background. So like I have right here, a monster, right? That's still allowed right there for what it is. You can play sponsored games, of course, especially if you have an activation, and including links to others that promotes things, so any chatbot advertising is good, and then, discussing and endorsing or unboxing products and services, right? So if I'm here saying, hey, everyone, please go buy the new, Smash Bros. Controller, right? I can just be like, hey, here it is, physically right here. Go buy it. It's beautiful. It's big. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Like, not that Nintendo would ever pay me to do that. That's what I mean. So those things are allowed. But the issue is, a lot of those things have already been known, but taking out the option to do the full screen video ads is really, really bad. But it doesn't stop there, because you also have new guidelines on, what isn't and isn't allowed in terms of content. Obviously, you can't do anything hateful, illegal, certain gambling products like slots or roulette. You can't share or dox people unauthorized information. You can't spam or scam people. You can't have weapons. You can't have adult-oriented products like sexual content. No tobacco. No. This is no tobacco. No weed. No cannabis-related products. No political content, including paid promotional politicians. Medical facilities and products like prescription drugs, medical trials, miracle cures. Certain financial products and services, ICOs, smoke flow marketing, so on and so forth. And when you have alcohol on screen, it has to be mature content. It's just, I think the most jarring and surprising thing in this all is that, like, there exists a time where there was, obviously it was way more loose in terms of regulation, and sometimes, having regulation is good because you don't want websites to go crazy. I think the Twitch versus Kick debacle right now is definitely a good example of showing what happens when a website doesn't have regulation, which for a lot of people is what they want, right? For a lot of people, they want their streaming website, their platform to not be regulated, to let people do whatever they really want, and let each individual deal with the consequences as they see fit. I mean, it depends on how you really look at the semantics of content creation, right? But right now on Twitch, which is where I am going to be for the foreseeable future through Team Liquid, that's our space right there. And I work in tournaments all the time. I have an ad rotation around this size that is what I put on screen to make all of our sponsors happy. I myself don't really use too many full screen ads unless it is necessary, but it's not too often to do that. Even Coinbox, we have our intro screen, which isn't really an ad, and then we have the overlay, which is around this size too. But think about other Smash tournaments, right? Think about VG Bootcamp, think about, Summit, which used to be, but every other company or organization trying to run Smash tournaments, a lot of times they're able to pay their budgets like they do because of these full screen ads. So look at Battle of BC, where they had their sponsors, take like Fresh Cut, for instance, making Battle of BC one of their tour stops, and they had the full screen ad where it said, support the tournament here, download that. Technically, that wouldn't be allowed anymore, which is a bummer. But they can say with a little ad, hey, you guys, scan this QR code right here to download our thing. So people are going to have to get really creative with what they consider ads and not ads. But at the same time, it just is frustrating because, there's already been so many problems with content creators being frustrated with how much they're able to make on Twitch, let alone people hosting tournaments there. And now it just means it's one more giant barrier to it as well. Like, how can you sell your tournament and its viewership to an advertiser if they're only allowed to have a little block on the screen for their product, right? Or it's gonna have to be product placement, right? They're gonna get more, like I said, more creative. You're gonna send the product in hand as well. You can have a guy spinning a sign in the background. You really, really could. You can do anything you want on the camera. It just can't be like digitally superimposed on the screen. So frustrating in a lot of ways, but there are ways around it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this gonna be a big hit for Twitch? Are people gonna adjust and adapt? Or do you think there's going to be a mass migration because of this to other platforms? Not saying that I can, but other people, certainly as a result, I could see them doing this, especially for Smash tournaments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.